Hi, I'm Obed Sullivan, IBF Intercontinental Champ. Hope you guys are watching 8 Count Boxing Hour on Channel 27. Hey, stay tuned.
Cataneo, championship of the world. Please welcome, fighting out of the blue corner. He's from the Dominican Republic. He has an outstanding professional record of 19-4-1. Please give a warm welcome to Jose Cataneo.
Please.
Jose now lives in Mexico. He's a cousin from Alamogordo, New Mexico. He's fought on the USA Network 3 times. Fought out in the great state of Pennsylvania. Coming home to fight his first professional fight for the World Championship. Please give a warm welcome to the powerhouse, Eric Holland.
All right, boxing fans, we're just about ready, and there's the bell, round 1 underway. You're watching the 8 Count Boxing Hour on Community Cable Channel 27 in Albuquerque. Your host, Dan Cisneros at ringside, bringing you the action of not only the Duke City, but the Land of Enchantment, because we go to Alamogordo for this one, the WBB Middleweight title. Of course, the WBB is the world body of the Pentacontinental Boxing Union. You're looking at Eric, the powerhouse Holland in the white trunks, his opponent Jose Cataneo in the black trunks out of Mexico. Eric Holland, one of the unusual stories of boxing, at one time a sub-500 record, really not thought of as much more than a journeyman. He began to fight on USA's Tuesday night fights, and really pretty much of a crowd pleaser up there in Philadelphia at the Blue Horizon. He became the house fighter at the Blue Horizon, and just kind of gained a cult following, but that seemed to perk him up. He ran off a string of victories, and right now Eric Holland, with that record over 500, has had a string of victories, impressive wins, including wins over Charles the Hatchet Brewer. And he's worked his way into this minor world title shot against Jose Cataneo, and this will be Eric Holland's first shot at a world title. And of course, this WBB title would definitely boost him in the rankings and put him into consideration for some big money fights. And Eric Holland, who has returned to Alamogordo, New Mexico, is a different man. He's under the tutelage now of Mike Sacker out of Alamogordo, trains at the Powerhouse Gym, and he's just a new man. He's got a revitalized career, and he's really been something to this point. His opponent, Jose Cataneo, in the black trunks with that white fringe you see there around the waistband. Jose Cataneo lost a decision here, a 10-round decision. Oh, and there's a big left hand from Cataneo. And Eric Holland's a little bit of trouble here. Jose Cataneo now pressing forward. He had Holland hurt, and now he's trying to put him away here. This would be a big upset. Looking to finish him off here, but looks like Holland has good recuperative powers. He was really rocked right there to open things. And now you see Eric Holland trying to keep Cataneo's back against the ropes. As we were telling you, Jose Cataneo dropped in a 10-round decision to Albuquerque's own world-ranked super middleweight Daniel the Pitbull Perez. That fight taking place at the Lujan building on the New Mexico State Fairgrounds. And really a good performance by Jose Cataneo. And even though he has the better record, he would be considered the underdog in this fight. Eric Holland fighting just another level, a world-class level of opposition, whereas Cataneo has pretty well fought in his top-notch fights, has lost those fights. And that ends the first round, so Eric Holland with a big scare in that opening round. And there you see him going to his corner, although he did make a good comeback in that one. Again, you're watching the 8-Count Boxing Hour, Community Cable Channel 27, public access to television in Albuquerque. We're looking at the WBB middleweight title, the vacant title up for grabs here. Eric Holland in the white trunks, Jose Cataneo in the black trunks. Now you see Eric Holland pressing forward now. He was hurt in that first round and he didn't like it. There's a good shot. Down goes Cataneo. So Eric Holland, who got hurt in the first, comes out determined to take that right back in the scoring, even things up, and he drops Cataneo here. And now let's see if Eric Holland can finish him. Eric Powerhouse Holland, and you can see why they call him Powerhouse. The man is just built solid, and he's strong as a bull. Not too many knockouts in his record. It's surprising, but again, he had a rocky start to his career, an up and down start, and just as lately has really come around to become a new man. And Jose Cataneo looks like he has recovered pretty well. Of course, Jose Cataneo is married to woman professional boxer Gloria Cataneo. So the Cataneo, the fighting couple out of Mexico. And now you see Jose trying that uppercut, trying to get something back here. He got off to a great start, but this second round looks like it's going Holland's way so far. There you see Eric Holland dig to the body now. Cataneo fires right back. Oh, a big right hand in there by Eric Holland. And you can see Eric Holland now determined to dig to that body, coming back with uppercuts and hooks. He liked the way that tasted, putting Cataneo down to the canvas. And Eric Holland, who was really excited about this one, wants this title. He does not take it lightly because it's not one of the big 3 or 4 titles in the world. He wants it badly, and you can see him now digging to the body, again working with shots to the head, going to the body, coming back to the head of Cataneo, and Jose smartly ties him up. He needs to get out of there, though, and he comes back with an uppercut. But it looks like Holland is outscoring his man 4-1 here. And there you see the overhand right from Holland. And he's just ducking his head and digging. His style, body type and style of fighting kind of reminiscent of Mike Tyson here. He's built like Tyson and kind of has that Tyson style. Eric Holland again with both hands going to the head of Cataneo. But Jose Cataneo is reputed to have a good chin. He was banged hard by Daniel Pitbull Perez in Albuquerque and stood up to it. That was their second fight. They fought twice. Perez with 2 of the victories on the ledger of Jose Cataneo. 2 of Jose's losses going to Daniel Pitbull Perez. Of course, Daniel Perez, who went on to challenge Nigel Benn in London, England for the WBC world title. And that ends the second round. So we're scheduled for 12. Holland's been hurt, Cataneo's been down, and it looks like we're in for a heck of a fight here. As we get set for round 3, our cameraman here going wild with the camera. Having a little fun here, but that's what the 8-Count Boxing Hour is all about. 2 rounds in the book here for the WBB middleweight title. We jump right into the action here. Both men touch gloves. We're up for round 3 here. Dan Cisneros at ringside here in Alamogordo, New Mexico, outdoors. A nice evening for boxing here, and so far we've got a good one. Jose Cataneo surprisingly in top condition for this one. This is his shot at the big time also. We've been talking a lot about Eric Holland taking this one serious, but Jose Cataneo really excited about this fight. They announced him as being out of the Dominican Republic, and Jose really didn't like that, and he insisted that the ring announcer come back and let the crowd know that he is from the Republic of Mexico. And now you see Cataneo trying to keep Holland away with that jab. Comes back with a wild right hand and misses. He could have paid dearly for that. Guy over my shoulder here yelling, "Get him, baby Tyson." So I guess they also think that Eric Holland is reminiscent of Mike Tyson, his that stocky, very strongly built body type, and his style pressing forward. And now the mouthpiece falls out. And referee Lorenzo Saiz will take Eric Holland back to his corner, rinse it off and put it back in. And now he calls the two back into action. Both men have landed big shots. There's a big right hand from Eric Holland, and he jumps in right now. Whoa, a big overhand right out of nowhere, right to the jaw of Cataneo. He took it well, but you just can't keep taking those bombs. And now you see Eric Holland just putting everything into his shots. And Jose Cataneo has really got to be in top shape here to take these shots from Eric Holland. One of Eric Holland's crowning moments on USA's Tuesday Night Fights, a big upset over, at that time, very highly touted world-ranked Charles the Hatchet Brewer, and it was Eric Holland with a surprising upset victory over Brewer in that one, and that really brought a lot of attention onto Eric Holland. It just seems like as if that fight maybe it turned the career of Eric Holland around. He became the house fighter at the Blue Horizon, where the crowd is always looking for a battle, and Eric Holland, really pleasing the crowd, became a favorite of the USA Tuesday Night Fights. And now he's come back to Alamogordo and just taken his career to another level. Again, you can see the big left hand just knocking the spray off the face of Cataneo. And Eric Holland is really putting the pressure on here, putting his foot on the gas and stepping forward. Eric Holland, the amazing Eric Holland. And that ends the third round, so another good round for Eric Powerhouse Holland, who we see there returning to his corner. Glad you're joining us here tonight on Channel 27, public access to television. The fights you can't see on the big networks, well, you catch them right here on the 8-Count Boxing Hour. You'll see New Mexico's fighters in action here. And this is a man not from Albuquerque, but we like to include the whole state here, Eric Holland. Round 4 now underway. The World Boxing Board Pentacontinental Middleweight title, world title that is, vacant, up for grabs here. Eric Powerhouse Holland in the white trunks, his opponent Jose Cataneo in the black trunks with white fringe. I like that nickname, the guy over my shoulder here in about 3 rows back yelling, "Get him, baby Tyson." I think Eric likes that too. And there you see Eric Holland again. When Cataneo ducks his head down like that, he's asking for trouble because that's just falling right into the hands of Eric Holland. You can see him with those uppercuts. He likes to kind of bend his knees and get low and dig with uppercuts and the right and left. And Jose Cataneo really looks more like the type of fighter. He's a straight-up kind of fighter, should be staying just like he's doing now, moving and sticking that jab out there. That's the conventional wisdom. If he'd step inside and mix it up a little bit and then get out, he could have the fight plan that Evander Holyfield used against Mike Tyson in the first fight. There you see Cataneo now try to sneak that right hand in. Eric Holland with his hands up high, using his gloves to defend himself. And now Eric Holland presses forward. And you can see when Cataneo stops punching and backs up, Eric Holland is just willing to oblige and step in there and start going to work. The promoter of tonight's fight was telling us that the winner of this match will be ordered by the Pentacontinental Boxing Union. That's Thomas Hogan, president. He will order the winner of this fight to give an immediate title challenge to the former WBC junior middleweight world champion Lupe Aquino out of California. And that's going to be a heck of a fight. Whichever one of these guys gets a shot at Lupe Aquino, it's going to be a toughie. Lupe Aquino, a tremendous former two-time world champion. So I guess these two fighters on a collision course. One of them is on a collision course with Aquino, as you see Holland sneak in that right hand to the chin of Jose Cataneo, but give Cataneo credit, he's taking it. He did go down in the second round, but he got up quickly and cleared his head, and now you see him with that left hand there, just kind of waving the left hand out there, kind of measuring Holland with that. And that ends the round. So another round in the books. I would have to give that one to Holland, but Cataneo doing some nice boxing there at the end. But he just doesn't seem to sustain it, and when he slows down or stops, man, that's when Eric Holland just says, yeah, you know, lunchtime. He jumps in there, opens up the lunch pail, and goes to work. And Jose Cataneo is just going to have to be more offensive if he hopes to take this title. Round 5 underway. We're scheduled for 12. The WBB middleweight world title at stake here. It's the vacant title. Both men looking to claim that title. Eric Holland in the white trunks. Jose Cataneo in the black trunks with the white fringe around the waist. Nice crowd here for boxing. Alamogordo was ready for a little boxing action. I think they may be tired of all the attention that Albuquerque has received, of course, since Danny Romero and Johnny Tapia kind of heading into that collision. Just they're definitely on a collision course. And all the attention focused on Albuquerque, New Mexico. But Alamogordo here behind their man, Eric Holland, as he goes for his minor world title. Again, you see Eric Holland willing to go to work on the body. If Cataneo's elusive, then Holland will just go to the body. And when he can get to him and gets Cataneo on the ropes or standing still, that's when he comes back with shots to the head. A real effective fight plan tonight by Eric Holland. Again, you see him with both hands. He'll fire the right, comes back with the left. You don't see him with too many one shots. And there you see Cataneo with a good left to the body, tries to come back to the head. Eric Holland now ripping a right hand, just grazing Cataneo. And Jose Cataneo got a taste of the power of Eric Holland, but he took it well. Although he did get dropped, and that hurts him in the scoring, he did clear his head and get back up, and he's back right into this fight. Again, a big right hand by Eric Holland. Ooh, that one just missed him. Eric Holland getting a little right hand happy here. There you see him go to the body now, a good combination on the inside. Eric Holland doing a nice job of changing things up here. He's not just going right hand crazy or jab happy, but mixing things up well, keeping Jose Cataneo off balance. And right here's where he goes to work. Cataneo backs against the ropes and just kind of bends forward. And Eric Holland loves that. He'll rip with the uppercut. Ooh, Cataneo with a big right uppercut from way outside. Did not connect. And again, you see Eric Holland now with that cross-arm defense and comes back with the right-left. Eric Holland continuing to put pressure on Cataneo, and Jose trying to catch Holland coming forward, but his timing just not quite sharp enough, or his hands not quite fast enough to connect solid on Eric Holland. Again, you see Eric Holland with that Mike Tyson, Tim Witherspoon style, kind of hopping forward. And that ends the round, and you see Holland clapping for himself in the corner. Just about ready to get underway with round 6 here. So we're approaching the halfway point of this world title fight. Round 6 now underway. There's a, you could hear that left hand just sneak in flush. It wasn't big, not a lot behind it, but it really connected. A good left hook there by Eric Holland, getting around the defense of Jose Cataneo. Ooh, a big right hand just missing from Eric Holland. Cataneo trying to make him pay, but did not connect. Again, you're watching the 8-count boxing hour here on Community Cable Channel 27 in Albuquerque. Going to Alamogordo to bring you this fight. The World Boxing Board's Pentacontinental Union World Title match for the middleweight division. Eric Holland in the white trunks and Jose Cataneo in the black trunks. So far, good action throughout. The pace has pretty well been set. Eric Holland is the man putting on the pressure, stalking his opponent, and Jose Cataneo willing to take the role as the boxer, trying to stick and move here. But Eric Holland landing the power punches. There you see Cataneo with a little 1-2, just trying to touch the head of Eric Holland and get him used to getting hit. And you figure every once in a while Jose Cataneo will launch the big heavy leather, but just not able to connect with anything really big to this point. The first round he did. He had Holland shook up and rocked, maybe caught him cold, I don't know, but he had him hurt, was not able to finish him. And since then, Eric Holland coming back strong. Jose Cataneo has appeared on Univision, the Mexican television network, on Univision Boxing. And of course, as we told you earlier, Eric Holland really became a house fighter for the USA Tuesday Night Fights a few years back, and that just seemed to get his career steamrolling. And now he rolls right into this world title fight. Again, it's not one of the big titles, not the WBC, the WBO, IBF, or WBA. Those four are the big titles. And Eric and Jose will both be the first to admit that it's not for the big world title, but these are the stepping stone titles that can lead to the big money. And of course, nothing feels better in boxing than to feel that gold around your waist, and that's what these men are fighting for. They want that title belt. Now you see Jose Cataneo open up a little bit, and Holland tries to answer back. And now Holland puts Cataneo on the ropes. And look at him get low and dig now. This is in Eric Holland's office right here. This is what he likes. Whoa, he just missed with that right. Again, he's just stepping back and digging with the right hand. And the two men circle each other here. Jose Cataneo trying to take control. A good round, that one. Eric Holland raising his hands, likes what he did. Feels that he's in control of this fight. I would have to agree with him. Unofficial scoring at ringside. The big bomb landed by Cataneo in the first round may have gave him that round, although Holland did a lot of work for most of the round there, scoring a lot. Could have gone either way, but since then, pretty much Eric Holland in command here. A big second round with the knockdown. Round 7 underway here. Alamogordo, New Mexico, the site for this one. Outdoors. Boxing outdoors here. Ooh, Eric Holland just kind of hopping in and loading up with that right hand. He just kind of ripped it, but give Cataneo credit. He's in condition for this fight. He did not take this one lightly, did not come in as an opponent. And Jose Cataneo, the man with a 19-4-1 record, trying to take this title here. Man at ringside yelling, "Beat him up, Eric." And Holland definitely trying. He's not holding anything back here. You can see him. He'll every once in a while open up with a loaded up right hand. But he is staying busy enough and applying good pressure to Cataneo. A good fight strategy here on the part of Eric Holland. And Cataneo just, apparently that's his style. He'll just kind of step back and look for the counter punch. There you see him try the big right hand coming up way short. And there you see Holland connect with the right hand. He just sends that right hand in there and it connects. And now Cataneo trying a little footwork, steps back, kind of tricky there, sticks that jab in there and then ties up Holland. Eric Holland with an unusual style. He likes to start with the body attack and then come up with a head. A good way of fighting for Eric Holland. He's at the height disadvantage, reach and height advantage going to Jose Cataneo. And Cataneo trying to make good use of it. You can see that he's trying to set up the distance and use the reach to connect on Holland, but Eric Holland good at closing that distance. There you see him again, just getting low, and Cataneo obliging by sticking his head down low. He's right in the punching range, although there's a good uppercut by Jose Cataneo. You saw the head of Holland snap up, and now Eric tries his own uppercuts. And again, the busy hands of Eric Holland are paying dividends here. He's throwing 3, 4, 5 punches. If he misses 3, he scores 2. And there you see Cataneo just kind of push Holland away, trying to get the distance that he wants to take advantage of that reach. There you see the good left-right combination by Jose Cataneo. And more of that. There you see again the left-right. Now Holland immediately goes to the body. You see him step inside of that measurement. Just when Cataneo establishes his measurement range, Holland dipping and coming inside and going to the body. Nice work by Eric Holland, and give Jose Cataneo credit too. He established a good distance there and stuck the jab right hand. And we go into the 8th round now. The way things started, I didn't think we'd see an 8th round with Holland catching a bomb early and then coming back and putting Cataneo down with a bomb of his own, scoring the knockdown in the 2nd round. But here we are, 8th round, scheduled for 12, the WBB world title. If Cataneo would just be busier and had maybe a touch more power and a little more hand speed, this fight would be a lot closer, because he looks like he has some decent skills here. But he just doesn't seem to be able to cope with Eric Holland's quick steps inside and then going to the body. Rather than getting out quick or tying up quick, Cataneo just lowers his head and accepts the punishment from Eric Holland. Both men appear to be in good condition, however. Neither man showing any real signs of fatigue here. We're into the 8th round. It's been a grueling match, too. I mean, constant pressure being applied by Eric Holland in the white trunks. And again, you can see Cataneo trying to get things started with a jab. And that's what he needs to do. He needs to just keep that jab going. He should be pumping that jab in there, keeping Holland off balance. And you see a little bit of dance step on the part of Jose Cataneo. Again, Eric Holland ripping with the left to the body, comes back with that overhand right. Whoa! Eric Holland a little bit off balance there. He really loaded up, and when he missed, he kind of knocked himself off balance. One of the few times he's been off balance in this one. Eric Holland with seems to have good balance for a fighter, for a power fighter, the power style that he has. He hasn't been over his feet or off balance too much here. Of course, Jose Cataneo has not really been running. He's been doing a good job of boxing, of staying within punching range, but avoiding Eric Holland. There you see him just missing with that right hand. But Cataneo may be a little bit sloppy. He needs to tighten up that attack. When he throws the right hand, he seems to leave himself open. And you can see Eric Holland again pressing forward, putting on the pressure, and that ends the round. We now move to round 10. So a good fight to this point. A lot of rounds in the bank for Eric Holland. Jose Cataneo doing what he can to get this title. 3 rounds to go now. This bout is scheduled for 12. It is for the title. The World Boxing Board's middleweight title. And Tom Hogan's Pentacontinental Boxing Union is one of the more respected minor titles in boxing. I know there seems to be a title around every corner, you know, but Tom Hogan has a good organization, well respected in the boxing community, and the Pentacontinental Boxing Union is regarded as one of the best of the minor titles. Of course, just too many titles in boxing, but nevertheless, these two men would love to feel that gold around their waist, and nothing like having a title. Something to fight for, and these two men going at it here, giving the crowd a good fight. Of course, the winner will defend his title against Lupe Aquino in the near future, so big things in the future for the winner of this one. There is a lot at stake for these two. A big crossroads fight for the careers of Eric Holland and Jose Cataneo. A win over Eric Holland springs Jose Cataneo into national attention, and Eric Holland would like to continue the role that he's on. At one time had a very modest record, maybe something like 8-15, considered as nothing more than an opponent. Suddenly, a few wins on USA's Tuesday Night Fights, and next thing you know, he runs off a string of victories, and here he is now with an over 500 record, and considered a world-ranked fighter. And Eric Holland would like to keep that going. He'd just like to ride this out as far as he can. A new dedication to the sport. And right now it's only Jose Cataneo standing in his way. And Jose with a nice boxing style. But you see Eric Holland get in there, and when he can close the distance, if he can close that gap, he just lets his hands fly, rips with uppercuts and shots to the head, body shots, mixing it up well, and Eric Holland looking very impressive to this point. A lot of big money fights out there for one of these guys. Roy Jones Jr. and Bernard the Executioner Hopkins. Up-and-coming fighters in the middleweight division, William Joppy, and just a good division out there. There's some money to be made and some big fights to be made. And there you see Holland again. That's what he likes. He loves it when Jose Cataneo will stop and just bend forward and let Holland go to work. That's just playing right into his hands, and Eric Holland smartly taking advantage of that. With the height disadvantage, a good strategy on the part of Eric Holland, doing a lot of body work. And I think that Jose Cataneo has been moving back a little bit too much. Not as much lateral movement as I would like to see if I was in his corner. And Eric Holland really hasn't had to cut the ring off too much, but rather just press forward. You're watching the 8-Count Boxing Hour here on Community Cable Channel 27, Albuquerque's public access channel. Dan Cisneros at ringside bringing you the WBB middleweight title, and right now you're looking at Eric Holland go to work on Cataneo. Jose freezes up on the ropes, and he just shouldn't do that, and Eric Holland takes advantage. The referee separates the two, and I'm telling you, when Jose Cataneo stops and lays on those ropes, Eric Holland is not shy about jumping in and doing damage. Eric Holland scoring well in these rounds, many of these rounds going to Eric Holland. There you see a nicely placed left hand to the body by Holland. Again, You can see him just get under the elbow there and dig to the body. And Jose Cataneo just cannot afford to lay on the ropes because he's just a target, sitting duck. He needs to be able to move either way here and keep Holland off balance. He lets Eric Holland get a little bit of momentum and move in with that power, and man, Eric Holland will do his Mike Tyson impression and go to work here. And there you see him again just load up with that right hand that should not be happening. And there you see Cataneo trying to spin out a little bit. Comes back with the left hand, and Eric Holland answers. Just missing with the left hand again by Jose Cataneo. Eric Holland missing with the right hand. He'll bring that overhand right. There's one, but the gloves caught it. And a big left missing from Cataneo. These guys throwing some bombs, but missing. And there you see Eric Holland now stepping forward with a jab. There's the jab, and the right hand connects on the ear of Cataneo. He looks out into the crowd and shakes his head yes. And then he tries to go to work with his jab. This fight here kind of reminiscent of Mike Tyson's fight against Mitchell Blood Green. Jose Cataneo with that stand-up stick and move style, and Eric Holland with the high-pressure inside power style of Mike Tyson. So we go into a final round here. Eric Holland feeling confident here, raising his hands, but maybe a little early to be doing that. We get ready for the 12th and final round here of this WBB middleweight title bout. 3 minutes left to decide the winner and who will take home the gold. Alamogordo, New Mexico, the site for this one. And here we go. Referee Lorenzo tells them to touch him up. And the final 3 minutes underway now for the WBB middleweight title. The vacant title, and the WBB will crown a new champion tonight. Of course, unless we have a draw here, but I'm sure both of these guys would like to end things and not leave it into the hands of the judges. Eric Holland appearing pretty confident. You can see Cataneo just kind of looks like he's trying to set a trap for Holland as he kind of backsteps in little steps and tries to get Holland to march forward and run into a counter shot. But Cataneo just not busy enough, and when he throws the heavy leather, just not able to connect on the surprisingly elusive Eric Holland. I mean, Eric Holland looks like he's stationary and there to be hit, but he really has been able to make Cataneo miss with a lot of his punches. Both men in good condition here. We're in the 12th round. They're still throwing the leather. Nobody's grabbing and hanging on. These two guys boxing for the full 12 rounds. And now you see Holland. That's where he likes to be, right there. When Cataneo now complaining about a low blow, and referee Lorenzo tells Eric Holland to keep him up. But boy, Cataneo just should not be on those ropes. I've said it earlier, and it's too late now. I mean, he's been doing a lot of that, falling back into the ropes and letting Eric Holland get in there and score. Oh, Eric Holland with the big right hand missing. He's thrown a few of those tonight, some landing and some missing, but at least he's staying busy. And that's got to be paying dividends in the minds of the three judges here at ringside. Again, you see Eric Holland march forward with that right hand kind of tucked up close to his chin. There you see him now with a barrage to the body. Little shoe shine on the part of Eric Holland. And there you see him. He was busy throwing the combination while Cataneo very calmly just stepped back, and Holland swinging at the air, but he's letting his hands go now, and he comes back with a good left hand. A good left hand to finish that combination. A big right hand there by Eric Holland. Ooh, Cataneo sticks a nice jab into the face of Holland, but just not enough to counteract the power punching of Eric Holland. And that ends the fight. We're gonna go to the judges right here and settle this one. Both men giving praise to each other. And we're gonna get a decision on this fight. A good match all the way through. The men go the distance, good conditioning, punching throughout, and now it's in the hands of the 3 judges. And now let's go up and find out who wears the title belt. So all 3 judges see it in favor of Eric Holland. There you see him with the title belt around his waist. Congratulations to Alamogordo, New Mexico's Eric Holland.